Good evening and welcome to the Rabble podcast. It's Jamie here. I do this every time. I think I wrecked that start there, so if anybody's seen it or watches it back, let me know. I think I absolutely ruined it, pressing the wrong buttons. But anyway, we are here for the match reaction. We've just seen Rangers defeat Annan Athletic 3-0. I'm joined by Alex, Graeme and Mark. How are we, troops?
Yeah, good. Yeah,
all good.
I'm going to just have a little look at the team, the starting team. We'll look at the first half of goals. We'll have a chat about folks' performances. The first thing I probably watch, I'm going to come into the comments just to say hi to a few folk. I see Martin does that all the time and I don't do it. I need to start doing that because it's one thing. He doesn't get much over me, certainly not looks, but one thing he gets over me is good at the hosting. He's good at bringing in people's comments. So I'll maybe go to the comments because I've seen a few folk chin me for not bringing their comments up before as well. But before we get into it, when we do chat about the game, first and foremost, and they're a League Two side, that's it. We're not going to keep disrespecting and say, oh, but it's the opposition we're up against. You know what? They're in the draw, we're in the draw. So yeah, they're a League Two side. So that's the last we'll mention that. And let's just see who's on this morning. This evening.
Different programme.
I know. Ian's on. Hi, Ian. How are you, my man? I see our usuals are on. Curry Muncher's in. Yeah, we're all there. So we'll jog on. Alex, the starting team. McLaughlin started. Sikowski right back. Left back was Barisic, and he'd went with Helander, which he told us about prior, and he partnered a Helander with James Sands. Davis was in the middle with Ramsey, and it looked like Sakala, Ahmad behind Roof possibly at the start. But what was your initial thoughts on the starting 11, Alex?
Yeah, like you say, you don't want to mention it too much, but I was aware of obviously the capability of our opponents and thought, you know what, no matter what 11 goes out, they should be able to get the job done. And I was happy to see. Obviously, Helander we knew about. Ramsey starting was a big bonus. I was delighted to see Zukowski and James Sands getting a shot at centre back. You know, just the changes was. It comes at a good time as well because obviously we've got the massive game in the Europa League coming on Thursday. So I was glad to just see a little bit of game time for those who are just returning or kind of behind the curtain in terms of the main team.
Mark, were you surprised at any of the starting lineup? I thought, no, what? I'll come to you, Graeme, because we done the preview show on Friday, and we probably all agreed that we thought he would not rest Goldson and Tav, or both of them. So I watched back that preview show, man. The team that we were picking was so wrong, mate, wasn't it?
The only thing I got right was my Davis selection.
You had to get that right eventually, though, mate. You've called that about 5 times. It's never happened.
I know. I was surprised with Tavernier and Goldson being rested. Goldson was even in the squad, but I kind of like that in a way as well. But it was good to see, like you said, that Sikowski. I thought he had a solid game for his debut, and it was a comfortable performance. That really wasn't it. So. Moving into the next round, but I actually like to start the lineup. To be honest, if I was being picky, like I said in the group chat earlier, would be Alex Lowry to start. Just because I want to see more of the boy, but I quite enjoyed that starting lineup, and the formation looked quite good. Some teams looked at 4-2-4 as well instead of 4-2-3-1, which adds a bonus going forward as well too.
I'm just going to pull this one up. I don't think we can let this one go, Mark, before we continue. That's the wettest Wolves ever been. So anyway, we'll move on for that one. Starting lineup: Sikowski, Sands at centre back. I thought Sands looked pretty assured. Playing in there, he looked really, really comfortable. We weren't challenged that much, but it was good to see Ramsey as well, getting a good 60 minutes under his belt, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think probably that the selection was. Probably most is because I said that there was going to be a lot of changes. I think that it was resting a lot of people, and I think just having a look at some people as well. Like you said, big boy Sands at the back, having a wee look at him at centre half. I thought he looked apart. I thought he looked like he's maybe not the tallest, but he looks an athlete, the boy, and it looks as if he's settled in a wee bit more as well. good to see Ramsey getting a start. To be fair, it was good to see Ramsey and Davis together. There's a lot of nice football. The two of them are really good footballers, aren't they? They're, and I thought maybe we would have needed a wee bit of dig, but it just shows you, doesn't it, that some nice football obviously can work, even if it's against a kind of low division team.
Yeah, we kind of shown we kind of went out with the purpose, Alex, at the start of the game and kind of shown what we were all about. However, I just want to put on Curry Muncher's comment because, damn, that was a hard watch in that first half, wasn't it? That camera angle. And then I don't think they had a tilt to right the camera angle. They were trying to switch the angles to the corner flag. It was just disastrous by Premier Sports, wasn't it?
Yeah, the one, where they change it to the corner, and it actually allows you to see the Ramsey goal a bit better in terms of the if he's offside or not. That's the kind of goal. That's the kind of camera that Sky Sports, BT Sports use for your replays. To get the insight. When you're watching it first time, in that angle, what's the point in replays? They're just showing us the exact same things again. There's no difference. And as for the camera in the middle, my God, the only highlight of that camera was the bit where the boy was wiping it.
Aye, it was horrendous. 1-0. We were 7 minutes in. Mike Helander got to the first header, which was a bit behind him. It's hard. It's listen. All these boys that play behind are better players than all of us. But it just looks. You can just see such a level of difference. Like Helander's header he's reaching behind it. Graeme, he gets it on target, and he nearly scores with it. You're talking any other level, that's nowhere near getting in the goal. But he got to the first one, and then eventually Ramsey puts in the set. A bit of a carbon copy, wasn't it? We got 1-0 with a good header.
We all seem to look much more of a threat for set pieces when Big Highlanders on the pitch. Obviously, when you're back earlier on in the season, they go against Celtic as well. So it's nice to see him back for that. Hopefully, he can be a threat for corners in the future.
Well, I was going to say that, Graeme. Have we scored? We've not scored many this season. I don't know, Alex, you might know this better, Andy, but we don't score many goals from corners anymore. We used to be really dangerous at them, Graeme, but that was good to see us getting one, I suppose.
I was saying that. I was thinking that when it went in. I was trying to think. I really think Highlanders against Celtic, whereas Goldson came up with a few last year. But it was nice to see him back and getting a goal, and good to see all the players run around him to celebrate.
Yeah. Nice before we move on to the other goals, just wanted what Graeme's saying there, Mark, is Big Helander. Rolls Royce, but he's some defender. To get him back, that's like a new buy.
100%. You can see it. I mean, it's. I've said it many times. I think he's our best defender. I think he's the best defender at the club. And it just strolled it, didn't it? It just looked as if it was head and shoulders above everything. I mean, it looked as if he could have played in midfield tonight. It looked that good.
He's got see the thing is with Alex. The thing is with Helander, he was always talked about this pace. He lacked pace, but see, he does lack a bit of pace, but he's still travelling over the ground. He's still fairly fast, and his reading of the game is so good.
Yeah,
he's rolled it.
Yeah, the thing that a player has a lack of pace has to make up in the other departments, especially on the ball, because off the ball, if you don't have the pace, it doesn't really matter when you come up against fast players and or a player that's faster than you, because if you can outsmart them, like he does, he can shield the ball off or give them a hard time, and that helps him in defence. But on the ball as well, I think pace, if you don't have it, it's important to be smart with the ball and not take that big touch, or have a loose touch. And he's very close controlled. And I think Helander's he's got a real football brain.
Graeme, CGM saying there, the young lad's getting a wee run out in the second half, and the Polish boy getting a run out as well. It's a fitness run. He's 100% right. I don't think that should be a dig at Rangers or Annan. I think that's exactly what we should have been treating this like. I mean, we should be getting fitness into guys like Davis, Ramsey, stuff like that, and have a far enough to win that game comfortably.
Aye, definitely. And what impressed me as well is the attitude for the first minute. But sometimes when these small teams, you can see the big players maybe just giving 50%, thinking it's too easy. They were on it from the beginning, which that was quite impressive. I enjoyed watching it. And some of the play, like you were saying earlier, was nice to watch. So it made it enjoyable considering the weather and that. So the fans that went up there at least got some nice football to watch.
You see Ramsey coming in. I've seen a couple of wee murmurings. Just the guy, I just felt in that first half, it just looked like he could have upped it at any point. He could have upped it at any point. And see, he gets another 60 minutes into him. Probably at that point, like, let's get him off. You don't want to overdo it for Ramsey coming in, Alex, do you? But I think getting 60 minutes and a start under his belt was a good. And I thought he looked really enthusiastic.
Yeah, no, Ramsey was brilliant, and I think the early lead, especially getting the 3 goals in such like so quick and before halftime and all that, allowed Ramsey in that to come off, because if you're waiting a little bit later, let's say we get the football but not the finishing, and you're waiting going into the second half at 1-0 up, it definitely, you're probably wanting to keep Ramsey in that on just to have a little bit more control in the game, because it's nervy times, and if they go and get a counter and get a goal or whatever, then it's game on, and that's the moments where you need Ramsey. So having the game killed off, and his contributions in the first half definitely allowed him the break and allowed us to bring in the younger players.
Yeah, CGM, you're saying that CGM saying he thinks the attitude was thought the attitude was good. By the way, CGM, I must go for you often, because I seen you saying the attitude was bad there, and when I double take, it said good. And I was going to pull you there, so I agree. I thought the attitude in the first half, Mark, was fantastic. We didn't give Annan a chance to even build any sort of confidence. The level and performances was different, but young Polish boy Matty Zakowski gives a ball into Ruth, and they finish for the second goal, uses the boy's body as a shield and stuff like that. It was a beautiful touch and finish.
Yeah, he's good at that, and that's one thing Ruth's good at. He's probably the best at the club at that. He just uses his body and a wee pivot, a wee turn, and a great finish. To be fair, I think he's probably the best finisher at the club as well. I think he's good, but just seems to be something just off it. Just it's as if he needs maybe 4 or 5 games a wee run to try and get back up, because we've seen him. He's not looked the same. He's not looked the same player this season as he was last season. Last season, arguably, you could have said it was a toss-up between him and Morelos, who was going to start. But I think this season is just, I think he's just, that wee injuries just set him back a wee bit, and I think he's just kind of trying to find his place back in the side again. But yeah, great goal, as I said, and obviously just on the attitude of the boys as well. I thought it was really good. I thought that even the likes of the young boy Diallo was he done all right. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but he gave plenty of effort, and a boy like that could easily win, like, hold on a minute, I cost all sorts of millions of pounds, and it's pissing rain, and I don't really want to be here. And I'll just wait for the ball coming. But I seen him tracking back, and I seen him chasing. I seen him dropping deep to try and actually get on the ball as well. So I thought the attitude was really good, and I thought that was exactly what we needed, because many times we've went to places like this and our attitude's not been right, and we've made hard work at it. So I said, credit to Gio and credit to the team as well, because they went out there and they looked professional. They looked as if, right, okay, we're here to do our job. We're going to do the job right. And but yeah, they done well, as I said, and back to Ruth, great finish. But still, I think we should be getting a wee bit more of them.
Yeah, let me come back on that. I just want to pull up one of the people following us. Chris Sheridan, happy birthday, mate. Yeah, we got a victory for you tonight, so I hope you have a good night for your birthday. So a big happy birthday from everybody at the Rabble. Let me just, I don't want Ruth fit as a different breed. We've seen him in the old firm last year. We've seen him all season last season. The thing for me with Kemar Roofe, Alex, is it seems to take him, he's out for a month or two, and it seems to take another month or 6 weeks to get back to the beast that we know he can be. And that's the frustrating thing, I think, with the fans and Kemar Roofe.
Yeah, I'll defend him a wee bit and saying the thing with Roofe when he comes back is obviously you don't want to start him and throw him in at the deep end and that, and then because of that he only gets a little bit of minutes here and there, and it takes him, because and on that behalf it takes him a little bit to build up the match fitness to then go and start a game, and like you say, he still looks a little bit off the pace because he's not had many starts under his belt. It does take him time to come back, and he does have a lot of injuries, which it makes him more of an impact player for us this season, I would say, until he can get a bit of settled fitness. He just needs a run of games, and at the moment it's hard to throw him in, especially with the form Morales is on and the form we need. If he can't show that straight away and just go straight bang into full pace, then you need somebody else to be firing, and that's just going to hinder him because he's not going to get proper minutes, I would say, between now and the end of the season anyway.
Yeah, I think the way Morelos has come on, there's only one man we're going to be playing most big games now. Folks, just before we continue, just thank you. We're live on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. So please just like and subscribe and just get the message out there. The match reactions we like to do them fast after the game, so they suit quite a lot of people. So please like and subscribe, and we're on my Patreon and we're on more subscriptions on YouTube as well. There's so much more coming out and happening. Graeme, Sakala's finish, before we talk about celebration, which was brilliant, Sakala's finish, cross or shot?
Cross for me.
Of course it's a cross.
I'm sure he'll say, if he's in an interview, he'll say it's a shot. There'll be a big smile right enough. But it was good. It's always good to see him scoring, and the way he celebrates and that smile as well. It's just infectious, and it's good to see him scoring and then doing the Ronaldo celebration. So pity Ronaldo can't do it lately.
Don't you start. This is not. I'm sick seeing you talking about Man United. Honestly, this guy's obsessed with Man United. Alex, I'm going to go to Mark, right? Because Mark's a Mary Rangers dad than me. He is a Rangers dad like me. I was getting frustrated with, and I love him, but I was getting frustrated with Sakala in the first half. Kept running the ball, and he missed a sitter for me again. But wee man puts that in the top corner, and then his celebration and the wee tune, everybody deserved that, didn't they? You're on mute, Mark. You're still there. You go.
Sorry. It's like one of the ones, isn't it? It's like watching your boy playing football, isn't it? Everybody, you just want him to do well. You just want every touch to be good, but like I think it's been said about the times, and it's as if he's that excited when he gets the ball that he's just doesn't know where it's going to go next. Wee bit frustrating sometimes, but the thing is as well, but because of how the wee guy is and his personality, you find it hard to give him a bit of stick. It's one of the ones, and it's as I said, but it was a wee bit frustrating. But look, I like the wee guy's enthusiasm. It was a menace all night. Although sometimes his first touch and stuff like that let him down, but it was a menace all night, and he tortured them. But as I said, the wee guy, you can't fault him. As I said, definitely a cross. But look, if anybody you wanted that to go in, it was Sakala, wasn't
it? Alex, where do you stand with celebrations?
Oh, I think they're hilarious. I'm in a wee group chat with, I'll call them mutuals, and one of them put embarrassing that he's doing that, and I thought, no, you can't, like that. It's a laugh. He deserved it. He scored an absolute screamer, and he's meant it 100%. By the way, just the butt in there. It may be an obvious outcome for many people, but there is a rabble poll on Twitter, shot or cross. So go on, vote.
Who makes these polls up? Anyway, we shall move on. But Alex, that's a good shout. Chris Sheridan, it's your birthday, mate. But thank you for what you've just done there. Amazing. If you want to pop a question in, we'll answer it for you as well. Half-time comes, and we come out to the second half, and the weather cleared up, and I was thinking, oh yes, we're going to come out and maybe see a few more goals and stuff like that. However, the game is what it is. We were so professional, Mark, what the game was done at that point. And the second half was a bit of the start of the second half was we had a bit of a dip, and actually Annan came in at a few bits. You in saying that, you would think that Craigan was some sort of agent for this boy Moxon. You would have thought this Moxon boy was getting tipped to move down south.
Maybe he is. Maybe is his agent. I don't know. I can't go, Craigan. Honestly, he talks some crap, doesn't he? Sometimes I'm just like, what is he even talking about? I don't know, but no, we didn't form. I think everybody was just cold. Just didn't want to. Hold on a minute. Is this game no finished yet? But one of the ones I think they just caught us a wee bit cold. And let's face it, you can't have all the possession all the time, no matter who you're playing. It's as simple as that. So the wee 5-minute spell, and then obviously we stepped on the gas again. And but it was one of them that it was kind of a wee bit of a non-entity the second half on it.
It was. The good thing, Alex, this is the thing. A lot of our listeners are really worried that Alex has just been locked. That it's not his girlfriend's attic; it's Martin's attic. You know, he's locked in Martin's basement. Alex, make one of those hand signs and we'll try and free you, whatever it is. Again,
like 3 times if you need help.
Well, no, the girlfriend's gone away on holiday, so she had to lock the door. No excuses.
Well, right, son. Of course. 60 minutes hit, and it was time to bring on some of the youngsters now. Jack Simpson is not. He's more of a first team player. If the thing is, if Jack Simpson's coming up with King and Lowry, you'd be probably saying he's a good prospect, but he's only 23. I think Jack Simpson probably won't be with us next season. Davis, Ramsey, and Hollander go off. Brilliant to get 60 minutes for them, Graeme, wasn't it?
It was, we said in the preview, it was all about getting minutes into your Davis and Ramsey and stuff and that. So it was always good to get that. The display, they both played well. And then also the young boys came on, get a wee bit of experience in the first team as well.
Now, Leon King, Simpson, and Alex Lowry came on, but Mark, yet again, we like one of our own, and Alex Lowry. It was the only reason I kind of stayed glued to the second half, because every time he get that ball, his first thought is forward, movement, twist, turn. He wants to beat him. It's not showboating. He wants to create something, doesn't he? Every time.
Yeah, it looks good. The wee guys, I think's got everything. It just looks. Every time you see him, every time I've seen him, he's getting better. Every time I've seen him, lots and lots. I thought all the young boys done well. I thought King was very impressive when he came on. He's reading the game, although he's not the biggest.
Everybody's fighting over Alex now in the comments.
Well, why not? Look at this.
We'll get Martin to set him free at the end of the pod.
Keep going, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. As I said, I thought all the young boys done really well. Even the young boy McCann looked the part as well. And you know what? I'm over the moon with that, because it looks as if we've got a right good crop that's there and ready. And I just hope Gio's brave enough to get him. It seems to be brave enough to get him game time and stuff like that. So, as I said, but I think all the young boys done really, really well when they come on. As for Big Said, he's dead to me now, I think.
Aye. I'm going to come back to you, Mark, Graeme, and just to talk about Charlie McCann, because you obviously know a wee bit about Charlie McCann. Chris Sheridan, mate, well done, man. Thank you so much. But you're obviously on the Bears for your birthday, man. Thank you so much. Graeme, Charlie McCann, another one, likes a wee tackle, likes the rougher side of the game, and was breaking forward. By the way, listen, reminding me of the way Aaron Ramsey plays.
It looks like he's improved, because when he played with Man United, it was more kind of a hybrid 6-8. He never really got forward that much, although he liked a shot from outside the box when he got a chance.
Graeme, me and Mark are just like, what the fuck's a hybrid 6-8? No, guys, what you're talking about. You and Alex know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but also I just wanted to point out, thank you, GB, because he said they're just jealous you have youth and hair on your side.
Sorry, Graeme, we rudely interrupted you there.
No, it's right. So it was nice to see him driving forward like that. So it looks like he's adding that to his game, which will only help him get more minutes and stuff. So he gets across the pitch quite well, and he's got plenty of stamina. He can run for the whole game, definitely. So it was good to see him impress in his debut.
Yeah, it was good. And I think Alex, Mark's saying it's good to see. So eventually we're starting to give a few young boys. I know we've maybe been lucky with the draw, the 2 cup games still in Albion and giving some boys some time. Would you like to start seeing boys like that come on if we're maybe 2-0, 3-0 up against a Dundee or a Livy or something like that?
Yeah, especially, well, obviously Lowry's he's already done it, and against Livingston, I mean, he's arguably man of the match, albeit not the best game from certain players, but you can't, he didn't hide when other people had a poor performance. He stepped up a bit. I think Leon King is one definitely that I'd put in the mix, but then it's not something that is seen a lot in the modern game, which is when you're 2-3-0 up to bring on a centre back for a centre back, it kind of changes. But I'd like to see him have a bit more, and McCann as well. Yeah, I think there's been a lot of hype around McCann, and I'm not sure what the situation was with why he left Manchester United to come to us, but I mean, it was a big signing, in my opinion anyway, and I'm really glad for that. It's taken a while for the youth academy to get going, and we've not really had any youth prospects, with the exception of Billy Gilmore up until Patterson. And maybe he's kind of given the kick on for people to have a look back and see the pathway into the first team.
I'm not going to dwell on it, but the last substitute we made was bringing it on for Sakala. So, yeah, the big man huffed and puffed, but he's no blowing any walls down, Mark, is he?
I feel sorry for him. Do you know that? I really do feel sorry for him, because as fans, we all want every player that comes to us to do well. Every player. It's just one of those things. I just think we've gave him a chance, and sometimes it's like that, and it's in the balance. Does he take it? Does he not take it? It's that kind of sliding door moment, isn't it? And he's just, as I said, I think Wright was trying, but maybe trying too hard as well. But Big said, I think that's him done. I don't think you'll see much of him, and I think, see, if he's £3 million, then I might be worth 10.
That's the thing for
quid
me.
Or million?
Million.
Yeah, tenner. It's a shame. It's a shame, Graeme. We don't like to down cry them, but the big man's not really shown us anything. I think last season he scored a few goals for us, but for $3 million, I think we've been robbed blind there, haven't we?
Like Mark was saying there, I feel sorry for him. I think that's, see, with the loan system, I think that's the kind of negative side of it. You've got to get it right. So when he went out to Germany, he was playing for the team that was getting battered every week. He wasn't getting any chances, so it's obviously affected him, because it doesn't look as if he's. But last year he would chase all the balls down the side. He would run, but it just doesn't look. He's just quite static, and his first touch is. I don't want to be too harsh, but it's pretty bad.
Looks broken, doesn't he? He's like a broken man.
Aye, and I think another man that's maybe again struggled again was Scott Wright. And he showed a good turn of pace a couple of times, Alex. But again, I'm expecting a Scott Wright to. I know it's difficult when you're not playing games, but I'd still expect a 70% Scott Wright to come in and destroy part-time boys.
Yeah, I don't know if he's watching. I hope he is, but I need to apologise to Scotty, because I said that I thought Scott Wright would come good this season, and I can't see it happening this season now. He has to be, if anything, he's an impact player for us now, because he's not developing fast enough to come into that 11, especially between now and the end of the season. I think for in regards to Itten, I wonder if, because it is a shame, because he had a good season over in Switzerland, albeit that's a different league to this one, and it's a completely different structure. And I wonder if he came in because we were going to try a different system, maybe with two strikers, and we found out very quickly that doesn't work. But I don't think he'll settle. He doesn't look settled. Last season, maybe he thought, it's going to take me a bit of time to settle, so he worked a bit harder, and now he almost looks as if he knows he's away in the summer. And then in regards to Scott Wright, he's still got a long time, I think. I think the bonus that he has over it is that he's Scottish, and that gives us the bonus in terms of, the Europa League teams or Champions League, if we can get there next season. Having the Scottish players in there is a big difference. So he'll be, in my opinion, given more of a chance. But yeah, he doesn't seem to be the right piece of the puzzle either yet.
Yeah, and I think someone made a good comment. And listen, I don't want to, Mark, I want to come back to you on this. I don't want to overstate. I don't want to overdo it, right? But for me, Lowry offered far more than Diallo did in the game of two halves there. I'm not saying he's worth 35 million, but I'm just saying I felt we looked more dangerous when Lowry came on than when I know we scored goals when Diallo was on the field, but I wasn't convinced by Diallo, to be fair.
Yeah, I think that young boy Lowry looked head and shoulders above him, but you need to look at the opposite side of the coin as well. The young boy's just moved to us. he's had 2 games that people just want to kick lumps at him. The weather's been abysmal. He's played in probably the biggest game up here, and probably a wee bit like a rabbit in headlights. Yeah. He's only a young boy as well, so there's Man United are only going to spend that kind of money if he's rotten. It's just not going to happen. So I think the wee guy just needs to settle in. I think probably a half a season loan's probably not going to be enough for him. I think that probably by half a season, he's probably going to be set to play for us. I think that the wee guy is just a kind of, it's like a wee bit of culture shock for a minute. He's just like, what is going on here? The big ginger guys with no front teeth kicking lumps at him. It's do you know what I mean? It's just, and you need to give the wee guy a break. I mean, you can see the wee guys get class. Trying to feel his way into a game, but like you said, Lowry was head and shoulders above him. But Lowry knows the Scottish game. He knows what it takes to become a Rangers player. He knows the desire that it takes, and obviously he's been getting lumps kicked up with the B team as well. So I think that his progression, and it's one of them. He's took, as I said, sliding door moments. If he comes on and is all right, then he's back to the B team. But he come on and done really well. Perfect start, scored in his debut. What more do you want? So I think the two of them are young boys, but I think that one is better prepared for the Scottish game, for our game, especially than the other that's all of a sudden been at Annan, and it's horizontal rain and freezing and plastic pitches, and do you know what I mean? So you need to give him a wee bit of break. We can't jump on him and go, he's rotten, write him off. There's a reason, as I said, there's a reason Man United paid bloody 30 odd million for him. So need to get a boy a break.
Graeme, you're a Man U fan, mate. What is the reason they bought him for 20 million, going up to 32 million? If he can't come and if he's going to come and be a rabbit, now, I'm sure when Man U loan him to Rangers, they're expecting him to go and play in an Old Firm game and show what it's all about, not be a rabbit caught in the headlights.
Man United bought him because his performance for Atalanta in the Youth League. I think that's where they watched him. The Youth League that Rangers were playing in this year, the year before. He was one of the best players for Atalanta. I think that's where they scouted him and bought him. But the price, I think, was inflated. I don't think he was worth that amount of money, to be honest. But Man United and English teams always get like 10 million put on straight away just because of the amount of money they've got. But Diallo, or Ahmad, he prefers to be called, he's a... I'd like to see him start a game at Ibrox. He's not started one at Ibrox, I don't believe. I think that's where you maybe see the best of him. And but Lowry, just to say a wee point about Lowry, is just the way he glides with the ball. It's a joy to watch, and I'd literally have him in every squad for the rest of the season and get him on as much as possible when we're comfortable in the league matches. Get him on for 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes here and there when we can, because I think he deserves it.
The game kind of just comes to an end, really. I thought McCann looked good in the last few minutes. Alex, man of the match. We heard the announcer at the end give it for Rangers, give it to Steve Davis. Would you agree with that, Alex?
No. No disrespect to Davis. The guy was getting minutes in the legs, and I didn't think he was poor or anything. But for me, it would be Mateusz Zukalski. Doesn't matter the level of the opponent, you've got to go out and beat them. You can only beat what's in front of you, and I think he looked assured and looked like good backup. So I was glad to see a confident performance from him, and that's why he's my man of the match.
He's not my man of the match. Nah, no for me. Mark, who was your man of the match? I don't even know who my man of the match was, by the way.
To be fair, I couldn't see who was kicking the ball in the first half. So I'm struggling. I mean, there was a few that were decent. I don't know. I think there was a lot of them in the same kind of level. But for me, I would probably go Ramsey because he just looked class. Every time he got a ball, he looked class. He looked head and shoulders above anything in the park. So on his performance, maybe not the best player in the park, but it just looked absolute Rolls Royce, as you said. Just looked class. Just oozed it. So he's mine.
Gee, who did you give for man of the match?
For me, it would have been Ramsey or Lowry. For me,
I'm with you.
I think, as Mark was saying there, I think a lot of players were quite similar level, so it was quite hard to pick. But for me, Ramsey or Lowry would get me. But just a wee point we should make is we missed out the Stonewall penalty we should have had as well. Another shocker for a referee on that. That was.
Are you talking about the one on Itten?
How he never seen that, I don't know.
He's volleyed him, hasn't he? Well, 35 minutes, folks. I don't want to overdo it. But before we finish, we'll just say our next game is now Thursday night. It's away in Dortmund, isn't it? It's the away leg first. Alex, we're going to see wholesale changes to that team tonight, aren't we? Like playing Dortmund. Is there anybody who's going to survive that game tonight and start in Dortmund?
Good question. Maybe Diallo. Ahmad, sorry. I think just because of his technical ability. Like you say, he might not be suited to the Scottish game as much, but his technical ability, especially his pace and on the counter, I would probably maybe have Ahmad in there. And I think he was good in the first half. He kind of dipped out into the second half, but I think he was good in the first half. It's good link-up play. So I think if anybody's to survive, him, and probably most likely, maybe not just because he's still getting minutes in the legs, but maybe Aaron Ramsey as well.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Graeme. Do you? My ones would probably be Ramsey, Diallo probably as well, perhaps. Do you think Ramsey will start, Graeme?
I think it'll depend. Ramsey, I think, will start after that performance. He looked pretty fit, so I don't think he got the minutes there. So I think he could give us another 60 minutes.
Yeah,
so it would be good to see. But I've got a feeling maybe, depending how Balogun is, we might see Barisic at left back if Bassey has to go to. So I think he can maybe play again.
I was thinking that as well, and I think Mark, we're going to not rue, but have we been a bit preemptive taking Hollander out the European squad?
I think so. The thing is, as well, if you're Gio, you've not really seen him play. So, do you put your faith in somebody that you've not seen kick a ball? Or you can look at videos and post matches and stuff like that he's played in. But it's one of the ones, innit? He's had to go with. I've seen him. He's plays. He's good. I can count on him. So I think that's why he's left him out. Personally, I'd have it be the first defender's name on the sheet, but he's obviously, it's a gamble, but he's still. I mean, he might not have come through this game tonight fully fit. So you just don't know, and I think that's probably what he's thought. He thought gamble, but for me, I think Ramsey plays in 10, and I think Aribo plays wide right.
Was the squad for Europe decided before we drew Annan or after we drew Annan? Because if it's before, that's an extra reason. You know, if it's before, and we say draw, for example, Hibs, Hearts, Livy, he might not be getting the minutes that he gets tonight, because you don't want to rush him back, especially in such a big game, and you know, where he's going to be a little bit more targeted because if you can get a couple tackles on him and get him a little bit weaker. So yeah, it depends. If the squad was made beforehand, then and personally, you know, there's definitely reasons as to why they did it. But if the Annan game came first, maybe they didn't think Hollander was going to be ready for this.
Yeah, I probably agree that he's probably not ready to go in and start anyway. I mean, that's his first game. The first, what was that, 60 minutes he got tonight? So yeah. We'll see. I think, you know what, it maybe shows that people are saying in there that, excuse me, that he'll be probably concentrating on the league. I agree with Scottish lad as well. I think that we'll probably start Ramsey as well. I think this is a bold one as well. I think I agree with Michael, Cav, Goldson, Balogun, but there is none in a month of Sundays I'm starting Barisic over Bassey at left back, even at left back just now. Do you think Bassey will start before Bassey? Does tonight kind of prove that that's not going to happen, Graeme?
Definitely Bassey before Balogun at left back. He's got that physical presence which will help us in both boxes as well for set pieces, and going forward he can get up and down the pitch. He looks a lot fitter and sharper, so I think it all going well if Balogun's fit, then for me I'd like to see Bassey start at left back.
James Glasgow was asking the question, who starts in goals? There's only one person starting in goals, and it's McGregor, isn't it?
No brainer. But I was going to say there, if Ramsey starts, who do we drop? Who do you drop? Does Arfield go to the bench? Kamara?
Well, that's where I think he'll go back to the old Arfield high right, playing inside with Kent and Morelos, and then you've got your Ramsey, Kamara and Aribo for me.
Oof, so no Lundstrom.
I forgot about Lundstrom.
Aye. Who do you drop? The only person that really can get dropped is Arfield, I would think.
Yeah, that's
in the form that Arfield's in at the minute, do you drop him?
That's Gio's headache though, isn't it?
For Yeah, I know, but as I said, that's do you drop him for a 80% fit Ramsey in such a big game against such a good team? Do you go fitness or do you go finesse?
Depends if Ryan Jack's 100% fit, then there's another question.
Well, yeah. But like I said, they're going to run us ragged. We're going to need to doggy and Chase and Harry all night. So, who do you put in?
I think, that's it. Is you've got to have a midfield that can. I think Lundstrom's going to be the box to box. For me, I think Lundstrom's going to be the box to box. And then depending on Jack or if he's fit or not, it's going to be Jack or Kamara. And then you've got the other one, which I would have Ramsey.
Right?
And I would have a Reebok, right? Yeah.
So
would I have? Headache.
Yeah, I mean, it's mad. So, see if everybody was fit, this is what I'd have. I'd have Lundstrom, Kamara, and Jack, the three in the middle of the park, because you're going to need people that can run. You're going to need people that can read the game, and you're going to need energy in there. So, to me, that's your three in the middle of the park. Now, up front, I would play Aribo wide right, Kent left, and Morelos through the middle. So, saying that, Ramsey's maybe not got a game in there. But as I said, there's all sorts that you could put in there. We could put another pod on who's going to start that, and we probably will the preview. But as I said, it's great to have that headache. But the problem is that we're going to be playing a right good side here, a right good side. No, I don't know. Me, Ramsey, 100% fit goes in that side straight away, but he's no. So. And you don't know whether Jack's not 100% fit either, even if he's back. So do you risk him? Adrenaline will probably get Jack through. He showed us that he can do that in the past. But, so, do you know what I mean? It's mad because you don't really know what's going to happen, who's going to be fit. And it just brings up so many different things that could possibly happen, as I said. But if everybody's fit, that's my middle three. Because you're going to need fight in there, you're going to need energy, and you're going to need people like Jack can go forward, and so can Kamara. Kamara's done it in the past for us for even playing an 8 in the left. So, as I said, what do you do? I think that Lundstrom's got to start for me.
I don't know.
He's got to start. He deserves to start.
So the difference between deserving to start, right?
Black faces and he's like,
deserving to start when you've played well against Hibs and Hearts. When you've got a guy like Aaron Ramsey who should be able to come in and be 70% fit and be better than John Lundstrom. I'm not digging John Lundstrom out because he has probably been our best player in the last two games. Yeah. He's not even on the bench tonight, Graeme. That means he starts. I think he's going to start, innit?
I think that's a sign that he will start. I quite like Mark's thinking there with the three of them because we'll need people, three runners and that can read the game and track runners for Dortmund's side, and then we'll need the front three. Obviously, Morelos will be the central striker, but we need the other two to be ball carriers that can run for deep and get us up the park if we're under pressure. So that'd be Kent and Aribo probably, I'd imagine. So I quite agree with Mark actually.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as we're in the tie for the second leg, and then Ibrox
is bouncing. Listen, we've seen, I think Bayern Munich get beat 4-2 off Bochum this evening, earlier on. So, do you know what? These teams are not perfect. Hey, we're not perfect either. But I think as long as we're in the tie for the second half, that's all we're looking for. That's all we're looking for. Anyway, and did they draw with Leverkusen?
Last week, yeah, they get beat 5 or 6-2.
Yeah, but
these teams. No, listen, we're in the draw, we're in the tie, right? And that's it. We might not be saying that doing match reaction after the Dortmund game when we're scud at my route there and there, but as long as we want to stay in the tie for Ibrox, that's all we can ask. We will be back on Tuesday, and where we'll do our midweek pod, which is mainly going to be previewing the Dortmund game for Thursday. Martin will be doing that, and he's gone to Dortmund, so we're waiting. You'll need to be scraping him off the ceiling, talking about it. We'll be getting all excited.
Has he got a ticket, has he?
I don't know if he's got a ticket yet, but he's got a ticket.
He's going
to Dortmund anyway. See when he gets all excited, when he sees hair, it starts to go messy and off, and the beard goes. So we'll tune in and watch that. But I just want to say thanks for everybody for joining us. It was a good wee game there. A Saturday night to watch a Scottish Cup game. Alex, Graeme and Mark, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
And we will see everybody on Tuesday evening. Everybody take care and have a good Saturday night.